Is it working now?
Okay, yeah, now we are recording.
Perfect. We got there. Sorry about that. Awesome. Do you guys have any other questions before I do jump into the call a bit further?
No, but I'll do just a quick intro of all the people that is joining this call because we have more people than last time.
Yeah.
So Julio, that's me, of course. Jan is here, and Basil, you talked to us before. And Frederick is here, also she's based in Cologne, and well, she'll be soon. She's going to be also doing a lot of outreach. Hamed, solution consultant, and Rob is online now. He's our CEO, so he's going to be just checking the training session and probably asking questions.
Yeah, not a problem. It was nice to meet you all. Perfect. Yeah, so today's session, as I said, it is going to be a full tool demo. So I'm going to be taking you through the platform in detail. And before I do that, I will take you through a little bit of a deck, just to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about the Cognism Chrome extension and also about email deliverability, just so we can fully set expectations for what the data is going to be like when you actually are generating it as well. Before I do jump in, is there anything else that you guys want to ask or any questions at all? Perfect. So if you guys do have any questions, then please feel free to use the chat, or you can be very vocal and just shout them out at me, because this session will be a lot of me talking at you guys. Awesome. So can you guys see the screen that I am sharing? It should just say welcome to Cognism.
Yes.
Perfect. So the first thing that I want to talk to you guys a little bit about is the Cognism Chrome extension. So this is something that you guys do have access to. The way that it works is it works on an API basis. So you simply input an API key into the Chrome extension once you've downloaded it from the web store. And then it's a really good tool for any kind of LinkedIn prospecting. So by simply clicking on a button on any person's LinkedIn profile, you'll get all of the contact information available, such as phone number, email, everything that would be available in the Cognism web platform will also be available on the Chrome extension. Then you can very easily push that into your prospect or web account if you want to run a campaign to them and save that contact. Or if you're using Salesforce or HubSpot CRM, you can very quickly just push it there as well. If you're using LinkedIn Sales Navigator, then the Chrome extension is a really good tool to use in combination with that, because as you guys know, in LinkedIn Sales Nav, you can build lists. And that means when you're using the Chrome extension, you can bulk export those lists into your accounts. So the next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is email deliverability. So this is where it gets a little bit more technical. So please do not hesitate to ask any questions if you've got them. So the way that emails work is that there are three types of deliverability. So first of all, we've got valid emails, which means there's a high probability of that email being delivered to the prospect's mailbox. So there's a very limited bounce rate. Deliverability is around 95%. And those emails are readily available. If you are going to use email addresses, then we highly recommend that you are using valid emails, if any at all. Next, we have something that's called an accept all email or a catch-all email, or sometimes we say it's medium deliverability. So what that means is that there is a mail server that's configured to accept any email that's sent to that domain, regardless of whether the mailbox exists or not. So we know that the domain exists, we'll send an email to that domain, but what happens from there, we can't 100% verify. One thing to note as well, that a lot of accept all domains do tend to be Office 365 emails, and you might be aware that that is a very popular email to use. So you will probably notice that a lot of emails on the platform will be accept all email addresses. So they do have a slightly higher bounce rate than valid email addresses. Deliverability is around 70%. But there are loads of benefits to reaching out to these emails. One of the main ones being is that statistically, they do have a much higher response rate than valids. And the reason for that is because the people that accept all domains are targeted much less. Finally, what you will see is a low deliverability email. So this means either the email's unknown, it's invalid, inactive, any of those reasons. Anything that is low deliverability, Cognism will not provide an email address for you. Even though we're not providing email, there are still going to be other contact data points that you can use. such as phone numbers, whether it's direct dials, mobiles, office numbers, and so on, social profile data, and then of course the company information, such as what text they're using, company size, estimated revenue, and so on. Do you guys have any questions on deliverability at the moment?
No, yes.
Cool. So I've got a little chart here, and this chart will basically just show that every time you do include more accept all emails into your campaign, deliverability will go down. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about this chart, but I will send this deck over to you guys so you can have a quick look through it when it's sent across. But as I said, we always do recommend sending to valid email addresses, but you'll see that the deliverability will go down, which means the bounce rate is going to go up with more accept alls. One final thing that I want to talk to you guys about are deliverability tests. So this is something that is a complementary part of Cognism service that we've started introducing to all of our customers, especially those that are using our outbound tool. So what a deliverability test will allow us to do, it allows us to check your email reputation and basically your domain health. So we'll be able to see whether emails are landing in the prospect's primary inboxes, making sure that the content that you're using is optimized for deliverability. So no spammy buzzwords, nothing kind of triggering, not too many links. We'll be able to check if your IP or domain are in any blacklists, and if they are, then we'll give you instructions on how to get out of those blacklists. And also make sure that you do have the correct authentication set up as well. Once we've done this test, we will provide you guys with a bespoke set of recommendations for you guys to follow. And if there are any issues, then we'll provide you with best practices on how to kind of get out of spam or what to omit from your content if it is coming across as spammy and being flagged by spam filters. And then finally as well, for anyone that will be using the platform, I will be your main point of contact as your customer success manager. I've included my email address there for you guys. If you do need any platform guidance or general support or any technical questions, then please reach out to help@cognism.com. What that will do is it will automatically create a ticket with our tech support team. And that's the quickest way of getting any technical questions answered, because it just kind of takes me out of being a middleman. We also do have an intercom chat functionality within Prospector as well. So again, if you're on the platform, this is the quickest way to get any kind of day-to-day questions answered as well. If you have any questions regarding your account or you're looking to cancel your subscription, then please email support@cognism.com. Perfect. Do you guys have any questions before I do jump into the actual platform itself?
No.
Perfect. So I'm just going to start sharing my screen with you guys again. You can let me know when you can see what I'm sharing. It should have the Cognism logo in the top left corner.
Yeah.
Yep.
Amazing. Perfect. So what I'm in at the moment is I'm just in our demo account. When you log into your platform, first thing you'll see is, so you will first be taken to this search prospects page. You can see here that we have some saved personas. So these are searches that have been run previously. If you are saving any personas, then the top 3, so the most recent will appear at the top. If you want to view all of them, you can view all saved personas. In this page, you can choose whether you want to run a people search or a company search. So one thing I'm going to note is that the company search is the completely free part of the platform. So if I type in Cognism here, hit enter and then search, you can see we've got this download CSV button. So if you run a company search or an account search, you can run that search and download a CSV, and that CSV will provide you with all of the company information that Cognism has. And that isn't going to use any of your credits. So that's freely available to you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into the people search, just because all of the filters that exist here also exist in company search, and it allows us to refine it a bit more. So first of all, you can see we've got job title and seniority. So let me just expand that out. So for the search, let's say I'm looking to target CEOs. So what I would do is I would type in CEO into the search bar here and hit enter. Once I add anything, then you can see that our persona here is starting to be built out. I can hit search and then we should get around 1,300,000 results for CEOs. If you are targeting job titles such as CEO or anything that's an acronym such as HR, you will also, it's very highly advised that you also expand that job title out. So if you've got CEO, you want to make sure that you're putting in Chief Executive Officer and hit enter again. And then when I hit search again, you'll see that that number of results will jump up, because what we're doing is we're making sure that all of the job titles that could be relevant are included in our search. So another thing to note here as well is that the job title search does work on a keyword basis. So if you are targeting, so if you're inputting CEO and Chief Executive Officer, it will come up with anyone that has that in the job title. So you can see we've got visionary and CEO, founder and CEO. You'll also come up with assistant to CEO. All of those job titles will be included. If you do want to make sure that they're not included, or you want to omit some job titles, such as maybe you don't want to target assistants, you can just go into exclude job titles and then type in assistant, hit enter. When I hit search again, then you can see that number will go down because we're taking everyone out that has assistant in the name. If you do have a large list of job titles that you want to target, or alternatively job titles that you want to exclude, you can compile a CSV of those job titles and then just click on the three dots and upload that CSV file. So that will just save you some time when you're running your searches. Other ways that you can target certain job
sorry,
titles.
for the CSV is just in one column, one file per title, no, or per list. When you like the format of the CSV file.
Yeah, so it will just be, you know, in block A1, you will just put job title, and then everything below that will just be the list.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Any other questions up to now?
No.
Perfect. So the other ways that you are able to run the search in job title and seniority as well are by seniority keywords. So again, keyword basis, it will include anyone that's C-suite, anyone with director in the job title, manager, and so on. You can also run a search based on seniority insights, such as whether it's entry level all the way up to executive level and top tier leadership. And then also you are able to run searches based on departments as well. So you might want to target just people that are in finance, people in marketing, whichever you want to choose from here. My best advice would be, however, to mainly just utilize job titles and exclude job titles exclusively and leave these blank, because it allows you to play around with your results a lot more, refine your searches easier, and expand them easier as well. So that is my best recommendation. Perfect. So next one down is contact location, which is pretty much what it says on the tin. So it's just where the contact is going to be based themselves. So if we want to just target CEOs that are based in the United States, for example, then I would start typing in the country name and then just select from the drop down, and then that will be added to our persona build. When I hit search again, you'll see that everyone that does come up now will be based in the US. Then next one down is contact details. So contact details allows you to be really super targeted. If there's someone that you know of that you maybe don't have their contact details for, but you want to see if we've got them in our data set, you can just type their name out here. You're also able to sort through a prospect's age from and to. Not something I do recommend because, well, there are two main reasons. First of all, we're going after business profiles, so I don't see why age would be relevant. And second of all, this is information that we are pulling from people's social profiles. And you might be aware that, you know, either people leave these blank or they embellish, and it's just might not be true data. You'll also have able to sort through skills. So this will filter through any skills or qualifications that a prospect might have on their social profiles as well. Cool. So the top three here, you can see they're all to do with the prospect themselves, nothing to do with the company. So all of the additional filters are all going to be to do with the companies that we're searching for. If I expand company location, you can see that we've got quite a few different types of criteria that we can input here. So first one is company name. Of course, if you are looking to target just, a particular set of companies, you can input the names in here. Also are able to upload a CSV of the company names. I will note though, that this again, similar to job titles, does work on a keyword basis. So if you're going to search for, well, we've got Apple here as an example. If I type in Apple, then it will come up with all the companies that have the word Apple in the name. So first Apple Incorporated, Apple, of course, Search Ads HQ Apple, and so on and so forth. So that is something to be aware of. To avoid this issue, making sure that you are only actually targeting, Apple. What I would suggest is inputting the company domain. So you can just put www.apple.com. Alternatively, if you don't have the company domain, which is absolutely fine, you can go into advanced filters, scroll to the bottom and just go into settings and then toggle on company name exact match. Perfect. Of course, with company names and domains, you also do have the option to exclude certain ones as well. So next down, we've got company size. So this is the number of heads in a company. If you want to target anyone that's above 1,000 employees, let's say, make sure you're toggling everything that does have over 1,000. If you skip 5,000 to 10,000, for example, it will not include those companies in your list. You can also search by company keywords. So this is really useful if you are targeting very niche types of companies. So I will say that this will significantly narrow down your results if you are including keywords. So if you're going to do that, then please input as many keywords that you think are relevant. What this will do is it will filter through any keywords that might appear in the about section of a company. So you're also able to search through company revenue. This will always be in dollars. Company year founded from and to, and what company types you're looking for as well. Perfect. So next we've got company location. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, on the keywords, are these keywords the keywords on the company description on social media or on the website, like the HTML company description tag?
Yeah, good question. So I believe, I will actually need to double check this because I don't want to be lying to you. I believe that we are taking this from LinkedIn description, so the about section on LinkedIn, as well as combining it with keywords that will appear on the company website homepage.
Okay.
Yeah, but good question. Perfect. So next one down is company location. So you can search through, if you put in all locations, it will be anywhere that the company operates or has an office. If it's HQ, then you'll only pull up information on companies that are headquartered in the location that you input in here as well. Next down, we've got industry. So if it's only particular types of industries that you are targeting, just click into the search bar. You can start typing away, or you can just select from the drop down below. If you're running a broader search, then you can also exclude industries as well and just leave this blank. So that's an option for you. If you do prefer, you can run searches based on SIC codes, ISIC codes, and NAICS codes as well. If you've used them before, you'll probably know that they're pretty rubbish. So I would avoid SIC codes and ISIC codes unless this is something that you prefer to work with. Perfect. So that is all of the basic filters that we have here. What I'm going to do now is expand the advanced filters out for you guys, just so you know what they are.
I have one more question. Sorry about the.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Can you just open the menu again?
Which menu?
Industries.
Sorry. Industries. Yeah.
Can you just double check? I'm quite sure that you don't have the answer right now, but if these SIC codes and ISIC codes are mapped to the LinkedIn logic or not? Because these codes have an overlap within industries if in the LinkedIn logic, And I see that you're using the same industry names as in LinkedIn. So I'm just curious about how are these two mapped to the industries field here, like to spaces above.
Yes, SIT codes. I'm not entirely sure on SIT codes, so I will need to double check that.
Yeah.
Industries, we're using a combination of two different data sources for our industry list. So one of them is LinkedIn, and up until a few months ago, we were pulling all of the industry information from LinkedIn profiles. We have included an additional data source, which I believe is under NDA, so we can't disclose it, but also gathering the industry information from there as well to make it a lot more accurate.
Okay.
Perfect. Any other questions at the moment as well?
No.
Cool. So just jumping back into the advanced filters, you can see first thing we've got here is technologies. So if you want to sort through any technologies that might appear in the company's tech stack, then you can just start typing it in here as well. Let's say Salesforce, just start typing that out and then select from the drop down. You are able to scroll through here as well, but the technology list is very, very extensive. We're updating it to include 20,000 results, so it's best to just go into it knowing which text you want to go for. So next down is event triggers or sales triggers, whatever you want to call them. I can click on add trigger. First three you can see are all to do with the contact themselves. So location move, job join, and job leave. The final five are all company-based information, such as whether a company's recently raised funding, if they've gone to IPO, acquisition, event appearance, and company hiring as well. So let's take hiring, for example. If I just click onto this trigger, it will open up another little search bar for us. Only thing that is required for you to input is the time range or the date range. So you can see, you want to see which companies have been hiring in the last 3 months, just click on that. And then if you want to add in any additional filters, feel free to do so as well.
How does the job end filter work? Job lead.
Sorry?
Yeah, how does this job lead filter work?
How does the filter work?
Yeah, the job lead, that particular trigger.
Yeah, how does it work? Yeah, so if I expand that again, all you need to do is input the time range or the date range. This will be for any of the event triggers. If you want to be really specific and you just want to see people that have left, certain types of companies or from what job titles or from what industries, then you're able to input that there as well.
Okay.
Perfect. So final thing I just want to show you in the search bars is phone numbers. So if phone numbers are a very large part of your workflow and you only want to be generating contacts that do have phone numbers, you can toggle on specify phone type and quality. Then you have the options of what types of numbers that you want to target. So at the moment, not many people are going into offices, so you might want to exclude HQ and office numbers and only target people that have direct phone numbers or mobile numbers. And then you can choose which quality of phone numbers you want as well. So you've got medium, high, and high plus. If you are using phone numbers, I would suggest keeping all of these qualities toggled on because it gives you an average connectivity rate of around 90%. Perfect. So one thing to note as well is if you are including phone numbers, especially if it's mobiles and just direct dials, that is going to significantly reduce the number of results that do come up. So you'll see if I hit search, we'll go from 36,000 results all the way down to just 14,000 or just under. So less than half of our prospects do have phone numbers or direct dials, which is still a large number, but it's just something to be aware of when you are running searches. Perfect. Do you guys have any questions up to now?
Bastian, nothing?
No.
Okay. No, pretty clear, right?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. So once you've put all of your filters in there, you can change them around, run as many searches as you want. It isn't going to use any of your credits at all. So what you can do as well is if you don't want to actually generate the data on these prospects yet, but you want to come back to this list later, you can save that as a persona. And to do that, you simply click on Save as a new persona. Give your persona a name. So let's just say CEO US Direct Dials. And then just hit Save. So you see, if I clear those results, because we've just saved it, it will appear in your saved personas. And if I load that back up, that list will just come back to us straight away. Perfect. Let's say that you are happy with the search results that are coming up. You have had a look through, the first page or two, just check the job titles, make sure that everyone is relevant to your search, and also have a look at the company names as well, especially if you're filtering through particular industries. Make sure that they're relevant as well. So this is where you will want to be pushing that to campaign. So push to campaign will simply create a Cognism campaign for you and allow you to generate all of the contact details on the platform. You can see that we've got reveal buttons next to phone and email as well. You can reveal a person's phone number and email address if you choose to, but this is not a workflow that I do recommend, simply because it will take a credit because we're providing you with contact information. And this doesn't mean it's automatically saved into your account as well. So if you exit this search and you've already revealed, a credit will be taken, but it's not being saved. So I would, as a good workflow, just avoid revealing any numbers unless you urgently need to email this person. Perfect. So yes, back to push to campaign. So if I click on this button here, you'll see another little screen pop up for us. So again, you can just give your campaign a name. So I'm going to call it US CEO Direct Dial again. Or you're able to select a campaign that already exists and just choose one to add these leads to. Best workflow I would suggest though is always creating a new campaign, even if it is relevant or similar to a different campaign that already exists, just because it keeps everything nice and neat and tidy, and you know when the data's been generated and so on. So next we've got email quality filters. So going back to the deck that I shared with you guys and talked about email deliverability, this is where that comes into play. So you've got high, medium, and low. So low deliverability means there's no email address, if you remember from the slide that I showed you. High is a valid email and medium is an accept all. So if you just want to generate data and use your credits on contacts that have email addresses, then just select high and medium. If it's just valid emails, only select high. And if it doesn't matter whether the prospect has an email or not, because they might have a phone number, you can select low as well. Then there are just a couple of other things on here as well. So if you are running large searches and targeting large companies, let's say, you can limit the number of contacts that you're reaching out to per company as well. So this is really good if the data that you're pushing is going to be run in an actual campaign too. So you might not want to be targeting, if we've got 100 people from the same company in one list of results, you might only want to target, 5 of them for the first campaign. So just make sure that you're putting 5 contacts per company. And then finally, we've got this allowed duplicate.
And those are going to be the first 5 that are found on the list, right?
Yeah, it will be randomly chosen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, randomly chosen. And let's say if you do select 5 and there are, loads of different people in the company, you can run the same search again, push another 5, and it will take 5 different leads.
Okay. It's going to take 5 different leads. So every time you save a new campaign, it will not save the same layer contacts again. Is that correct?
It won't. So this is, good question. So this is the last toggle here.
Oh,
so if you do, so as a default, you've got allow duplicates toggled off. I recommend keeping this toggled off just because you don't want to be having the same people appearing in multiple campaigns.
Oh.
Especially if you're sending to them, it can look spammy and it just doesn't look good. And also it will use a credit on the same person again. If you do want to allow duplicates, you can toggle this on, but just be aware that it will, if there is any overlap between your campaigns, it's going to include them in there for you.
And it will use a credit again. Is that correct? Okay.
Perfect. So I'm not actually going to push this to campaign because this is quite a large list and it will take a few moments to generate. But the next step would be to just click on push, and then you just get a little success message to let you know that that has been pushed to campaign. All of your campaigns will appear in this campaign section here. And you can see all of the campaign names, how many leads exist in the campaigns, and so on. Before I jump into campaigns in a bit more detail, I'm just going to pause for a moment, see if you guys have any questions on email filters, pushing to campaign, anything that we've gone through.
We have not covered personas, right? Sorry, I got distracted for a moment.
Yeah, personas. So building the personas was just here. Again, if you wanted to save these personas, then you could click on Save as New.
Yeah.
So this one I've already saved. When you clear results, so your most recent 3 personas will appear in here. And if you want to view all of them, you can view all saved personas.
Okay. So the personas are your search results.
Exactly. So all of these filters here is your persona.
So will it be possible to set up automatic like weekly update of a campaign of contacts in a campaign based on a persona saved persona or not? Or I'll need to do it manually?
Sorry, would you mind repeating that question again?
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to structure the question as well myself. So let's say that we have this search that has 13,997 prospects found, and I'll save it as US CEOs, and then I'll save it as a persona. So that's a persona, right? And then like at the end of Q1, I run this again, and there's like 14,001. So there's 4. Is it possible to create an automatic update of the campaign where I am pushing this prospects found to based on a set persona? So
it's pushing, so updating the campaign, you mean?
But automatically, like set it to refresh every month or every quarter or something like that.
Yeah, at the moment, this isn't something that is possible. So if that is the case, and so I would recommend saving your personas before you do push them anyway.
Okay.
But you can, in 3 months' time, like you said, then the data might be refreshed, and then we might have more leads in there and different email addresses and so on. You can just push the same campaign across again. If you're making sure that you don't toggle on allow duplicates, it will just push across the new data for you.
And the other 4 contacts that are
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Perfect. Any other questions? Okie dokie. So I'm just going to jump back into campaigns here and just talk you through what you can view on your campaigns page. So when you do start running campaigns from the platform itself, this is where you're going to be managing those campaigns. So I'm just going to jump into the top one here, CEOs in Arizona email campaign. Once I've jumped in, you can see we've got the prospect's name and company, and then all of the contact information that Cognism has. So we've got email address, some of them have phone numbers, some of them don't. Little green tick next to an email means that that is a valid email address. If it's an accept all or a medium email, then it will just be the email address with a little grayed out icon. Anything that is low deliverability, we don't have any examples in here, but it will simply look like, the prospect's name, and there will just be no email address at all. So in this campaign that you can see here, you have a couple of options. So if you want to export this data, you can go into Actions, download a CSV, and then just export that CSV file. And then the CSV you can upload into any automation software, any CRM, anything like that. Or you might just want to have it on file for yourselves. Another option as well is to select either individual leads that you do want to sync to your CRM, or you can select a whole list. So select all, click on the 3 dots and select synchronize with CRM. So we do have the direct CRM integrations with Salesforce, HubSpot, Dynamics, and Pipedrive. If those aren't your CRM that you're using, then you also can synchronize via Zapier. Perfect. So,
sorry, did you say that it's also possible to do it by Zapier?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you guys use Zapier at all?
Yes, but they're very limited.
Yeah. So general feedback, this is just from clients that I've worked with that have used Zapier in the past, is that it's very clunky and they don't like using it. Also, you know, with Zapier, there is a cost included with how many depending on how many zaps you do. There's something that isn't managed by Cognism at all. It's completely separate. And the setup as well can be a little bit clunky. So you might need your CRM admin to set that up. So generally, it is easier to just do the manual download and upload into your CRM. But that's just advice. It's completely up to you guys. If you're using Zapier, that's absolutely fine as well. Perfect. So once you've got your campaign and your leads are in the campaign, what you might want to do is set that campaign to start sending emails out. So I'm going to show you quickly how to set up an email sequence. To do that, I'm just going to go into our sequences tab from the toolbar menu here. So any sequence that you have created, then they will be populated in the sequences tab. So you can just quickly refer back to them. If you want to create a new one, just select create new. You'll have to give your sequence a name. So let's just say CEO campaign. Set a daily limit as well. So if you've got a campaign of 500 emails in there, but we want to make sure that you're not sending too many out in the same day to make sure that you are sending for optimum deliverability, you might want to start at 50 emails per day. So that means that the first step will take 10 days to go out. And then just hit save. This is where you can start to build out your sequence and add the different steps. So you can do a mail step, which is either automatic or manual. I'm going to go with automatic just because it automates everything for you, which is probably what you guys are looking to do when you're running your campaigns through the platform. You just click on there, and then you have the option to create an email to the leads that are going out. So very simple email building tool. You've got pretty much the main functionalities as you would in Microsoft Word. Subject line, again, just a subject line. So you might want to put hi, hi first name, for example. We do have merge fields in here. So you can just select from the drop down and that will populate that merge field in there for you. So let me just type something out in here. I see you work at, and then we can just do company name, for example. Then once you're happy with your email, you just hit save. Any steps that you do set up after the first step, again, same process. You can just type out the email. If you have a template saved, templates will appear in your templates tab, so you will need to save them beforehand. Just choose the template that you want to use, and then before you hit save, always make sure that you are setting a delay as well. So if you want the second email to go out a week after the first one, put in 5 and select the unit as days. So the reason we're putting 5 days is because we will only ever send on business days. The platform will not send on weekends. And then again, simply hit save. You can add as many steps in there as you want. If you want to have a one-step sequence, that's fine. It will just be one email that goes out automatically. And if you want to have 100, also fine.
Sorry, what's the difference between manual email and automatic email? Is that the time?
Yeah, so automatic means that everything that you've popped into your email here, it will send to everyone.
Okay.
At the selected time and date. Manual will mean that you have to compose the email yourself.
So there's no delay option in the automatic ones. Is that correct?
The delay option, yeah. So the delay option in automatic is, so we've set the delay as 5 days.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. Yes, you can also add in additional steps, such as whether you want a phone call with the lead, you want to set a generic task, and LinkedIn Connect as well. So call, you guys don't have the dialer set up, but Cognism do have a dialer which is built into the tool, so you can actually manage your calls through the platform. Without the dialer, it's simply a reminder to call the prospect. Generic task as well, it's just a little note to yourself. You might want to put, you know, send prospect flowers or whatever you want to do.
And there's going to be a reminder sent to the email that that this account is sending from.
Good question. So at the moment, we don't have any automatic updates or reminders for when any of these tasks are due. But all of your tasks will appear in your task section here. Yeah, so anything that is due, you can select due here. You can see we've got a call step that's due with Scott and with Laura. Once you've done that, then you can just complete that step as well. All your completed tasks will appear in here as well. So my internet's just taking a little bit long to load. Perfect. I think you guys get the gist anyway with due and completed. Perfect. So yeah, we've created this sequence. You can see that that CEO campaign sequence with our 2 email steps is populated in there already. What we want to do now is we want to go back into the campaign and we want to make sure that we are attaching the sequence to a campaign. So to do that, let's say we're in the campaign. You want to go into the top toolbar here so you can see you've got leads, sequence, and so on and so forth. Just jump into sequence. Let me just delete the ones already in here. Perfect. So we go into sequence and then you can either create a new sequence, which is what we've just done in our sequences tab, or you can select from the drop down and add a sequence that you've already got prepared. And then that will populate in there for you. Before you actually schedule this campaign to start sending, I will always recommend going back into leads and then just clicking onto any leads name. So let's do Aaron Gopp, he looks nice. And make sure that you're happy with how everything looks. So make sure that your merge fields are working. So you've got hi Aaron, instead of company name, we've got Patta here. So the company name is populated. You're happy with how the signature looks and any links that you might have in the email, you might want to just check that they're working as well. So just click through those. So once you're happy with everything, this is when you can actually start to schedule that campaign to start sending automatically in the background for you. So you just hit schedule. You will have a little checklist that you will need to go through just to make sure that everything's prepared before you hit send. So check the emails inside, which we've done. Check the timing. Yep, so that's the delays between the emails. Make sure that you're sending to the correct list of leads, very important. And check the list for any prospected leads already. So making sure that allow duplicates is toggled off if you don't want them included in your campaign. Then simply hit next. And then you'll see a big calendar pop up. So because we've put a daily limit of 50 emails per day, you'll see that the campaign will only send to 50 on the day that we schedule it for, push the next 50 to the next day, and then 17 a day after that, because there are 117 leads. If you want it to start on Monday, let's say, then you simply click on select date, and you just say, I want my campaign to start on Monday, and then it will start sending them for you. You can also select a time that you want your campaigns to start sending as well. Or when that's all done, you just hit schedule and that campaign will start running for you in the background. Perfect. So quite a bit of information there in terms of setting up campaigns, but I'm going to open the floor again to you guys to see if you have any questions or want me to go through anything in a bit more detail.
Yes, can you go again through the signature part? I got a little bit lost in the part.
Yeah, no problem. So I haven't actually gone through signatures yet.
Okay.
So when you do log into your account, I'll very quickly just go into that now. One of the first things that you will need to do as part of the setup is to update your signature.
Okay.
So you just want to go into our tab here, our options tab here in the top right corner. You can see you've got profile, signature, account settings, jump into signature. And this is where you're going to be adding your own signature here. So you can either copy and paste the one that you're already using or just type it out as you would a normal signature.
Okay.
And that will be added to every single email that you do send through the platform.
Okay. And so we don't have to add the signature in the content of every email within a sequence.
Exactly. So if you've updated it in here, then you don't need to do it in your emails.
And then the unsubscribe link is there, and it's I don't see it, but it's okay. There it is.
Yeah. So unsubscribe is just at the bottom. So when you log into the platform, this will of course all be blank. To generate the unsubscribe link, you just need to click on this sample unsubscribe signature link here, and that will populate that unsubscribe here button for you.
What is redirect for?
Sorry?
What is this redirect link for?
So this link, if anyone clicks on unsubscribe or
No, the redirect link right below.
Oh, right below.
Yeah.
So redirect link is if you do want people to, so if anyone's clicking on this link, you might want them redirected to, you know, your own
to your own unsubscribe. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what the redirect link will do. But if you're not, most people don't tend to include this. You can if you want to. But if you have got this unsubscribe here link, then that anyone that does click on that will be automatically marked as an opt-out and added to your opt-out list. And that means it won't be targeted again in any other campaigns.
Yeah. Okay, so it depends on whether you want to manage your opt-out list now, whether within Cognism or somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It is a good idea to make sure that all of your opt-outs are, you know, anyone that's opt-out from your campaigns are added in here.
Yeah.
Anyone that's added to your opt-out link as well, you can click on the hamburger icon here and download a CSV of that and then push that into your CRM as well.
Okay.
On opt-outs as well, another part of the setup when you have access to the platform is to upload your own unsubscribe list. So anyone that's genuinely unsubscribed from you in the past, anyone that you might already be talking to, or basically anyone that you don't want to be targeting or anyone you don't want to be using your credits on, just add them to the opt-out list. You can opt out either individual email addresses or entire company domains, as you can see here. And again, to upload that list of opt-outs, again, just click on the hamburger icon and upload a CSV of those into the platform.
Okay.
Perfect. Any other questions up to now? Okie dokie. So I'm just going to jump back into the campaign section. One thing that you might have noticed is you can see that we've got all of these kind of 0% stats here. So of course these will be 0% because we haven't actually launched a campaign, so nothing's sending yet. So let me just bring up some campaigns that have completed. You can see any campaign that has been completed, you will have statistics for them. So we can see in these campaigns, we can see exactly how many emails have actually been sent. We can see how many people have read the email, how many have replied, who's been clicking on links, and then if any emails have bounced or if anyone's opted out, then they will be added here as well. If you want to see exactly who's replied to emails, for example, then you can just click onto the stats and you'll be taken to the page of people that have replied to the email. To see the reply, just click onto the person and then you can see all of the email history in here as well. So when it's been opened, if there are any links, then when the links have been clicked, and so on and so forth. Another thing just to mention as well is that if you're sending to any prospects and they either opt out, if their email bounces or they reply to your email, that means the rest of the sequence will automatically be cut off and they won't be sent anything else again. It is up to you then to manage that relationship with the prospect. Cool. So that's pretty much everything on the tool demo that I wanted to go through with you guys today. There are just a few final things that I will show you guys around in terms of setup. So we've already gone through opt-out list and signature, but just a couple of other things I will show you. But do you have any questions on anything that I've shown to you guys today?
I do. Can you export this analytics so as a CSV or something based on your campaigns? Or can you export your campaign somewhere else? Or they just live within Cognism? Yeah,
exactly. So if you go into the campaign, again, just go into actions in the campaign and then just download a CSV.
No, I meant the previous screen, the campaign screen.
Oh, the campaign screen, sorry. Yeah, so we do have this little button here, which is download statistics. That will only download the campaign name and all of the stats as well as how many emails are in the campaigns. So not the actual people that are in there. If you want all of the people that are in your system, then you will just need to go into each campaign and download every CSV file.
Okay. Can you? I saw it somewhere, but can you explain a little bit more about how do you guys manage the out of office messages?
Out of offices.
Yeah.
Yep. So when you are setting up a sequence, so let me just jump into here, for example, edit the sequence. You can see we've got a few little toggles that are as a default set here, which I recommend keeping them that way. So the system will recognize any out of office replies and automated messages. And when you do get an out of office reply, it will ignore that. It won't class it as an actual reply and continue sending the next step.
Okay, so if it won't take the email address out of the sequence.
No, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, of course, this is technology, so it's not always 100% perfect. If an out of office reply is very highly personalized, you know how some people like to have them very wordy and they don't actually use the words out of office, then the system might not detect that and it will still class it as that.
Okay.
And it will continue. Yeah.
Can we see their email replies here, or that we cannot see in the campaigns, in the sequences?
Yeah, good question. So you don't actually respond to people within the platform. You will be responding to them through the email that you integrate. So that's the next part of setup, which I'm just going to show you guys.
Okay.
So when you log in, if you are wanting to send campaigns out, you will again need to go into settings, jump into your account settings here, go into integrations, and then where it says universal email, you simply click add. That will take you to another screen where you just need to log into your email account. So it's just whichever email address you want to integrate into the platform. Doesn't need to be the same as your login details, can be any email address. Just log in with your own email. When that's successfully done, oh, let me just, there we go. How do I go back to the back screen? My apologies. There we go. Yeah, so once your email has been integrated, you'll see your email address just underneath where it says universal email with a little green tick to mean that the integration's been successful. So anyone that does respond to your emails, they will go into your inbox.
Okay.
So you'll be managing those leads there. Also, any emails that do get sent out, they will be sent from the email address that you integrate in the platform. Just on this page as well, I will quickly show you, you know, how to set up your CRM or Zapier. So if you are using Microsoft Dynamics, HubSpot, or Salesforce, you can go into Universal CRM, and then again, it will be an add button. You simply log into your CRM. For Pipedrive, it works on an API key basis. Zapier, again, you just go into add, and then there are just a few additional steps that you will need to do to integrate with Zapier. If this is something that you want to do, I can send over a help sheet and a guide on how to do so.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, no problem. Perfect. So a couple of last things on the platform as well. You can see that you've got a little credit counter here. So in your contract, you do have up to 2,000 contacts per month, 2,000 credits. At the beginning of the month, that will start at 2,000 every time you use a credit or generate a contact details. That number will start to go down. As a default, we will have a cap of to allow you to go 10% above your credit allocation. If you want us to put a hard stop in it, we can do that as well. One thing to remember as well is that the credits, if they're not used 1 month, they will not roll over. So it's up to 2,000 each month. At the end of each month, they will renew to 2,000 again.
I think you're mistaken. I think we have a particular clause in our contract to carry them by monthly, yeah. I believe, or something.
You're absolutely right. My apologies. So your credit counter, it's technically 2,000 per month, but you have 6,000 every 3 months.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it will start on 6,000, and then every 3 months that will renew for you.
Okay.
Cool. And the last thing as well, if you do have any questions on the platform, or when you're setting up, or when you're just navigating it, you know, day-to-day questions, you can reach out to the customer support team by clicking on this little icon here and just have an intercom chat with them. So it is actual people that are managing this chat. It's not a bot. So do be nice to them. They're really, really helpful. And yeah, even when I've got a question, I sometimes use the customer support team. They've got loads of resources that they can help you out with. Perfect. Yeah, that is everything I wanted to run through with you guys today. I appreciate that you guys might be dozing off now, and I know you're hungry. So I won't go on for too much longer. But again, going to open the floor up to you guys in case you have any questions at all.
I need to leave, but thanks for today for the demo and clear explanations.
No problem. It's my pleasure.
All right.
Take care. Bye. Perfect. Anybody else? Any questions at all?
May I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Perfect. So we do have 6,000 credits all 3 weeks. Sorry, all 3 months. And could you please explain how much one contact is, or how does it work exactly? Sorry, I was not in the contract negotiation, so I'm not sure. Therefore, the question.
Yeah, not a problem. So the way to think of it is, the easiest explanation is that one contact is one credit. Regardless of what contact information we're providing, one contact will always be one credit, and a credit will be generated when you, so let me just go into search prospects, either when you reveal contact information, when you push to campaign, or if you're clicking on the Chrome extension when you're using LinkedIn. So anytime we provide you with contact information, a credit will be used.
Okay. If I found, for example, 100 prospects and then I push them all to campaign, then it's 100 credits.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter if they have phone or number, or sorry, phone or email, or phone and email. This is still one credit, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that question I would have asked right away.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
perfect.
So that's why I always do recommend, if you only want to generate contacts that do have email addresses, make sure you're only selecting high and medium and not including low, because low will not include an email address.
Yeah, makes sense.
Any other questions?
Yes, I do have one. It's more about advanced cases. So, for example, if we want to have, what would be the best practice for not to double use the credits if we want to have 2 separate campaigns? Yeah, no, never mind. I just answer myself. Like, if we want to have a campaign that specifically uses the phone calls as part of I forgot the name that you use here, a sequence. If you want to have a particular campaign that uses phone calls as part of a sequence, then we will need to put it separate from the rest, no? We will not, so we don't burn double credits.
Yeah, exactly. And also what you can do is, if you want to have a phone campaign, you can go into your campaigns, go into any campaign that you have in here. In the side bar here as well, you can select phone types. And then if I select all of them, then it'll show you which prospects out of the 117 have phone numbers. So in this list, we've got 73 that have phone numbers. Can you segment a campaign, or break it into 2 different campaigns? Yeah, you absolutely can. So let's say if you've got this campaign, you want to take people that have phone numbers out and move it to a different campaign. You can either select which leads individually, or again, you can just select all, and that's going to select all 73 that are in this list that we've created, and then just move that to a different campaign.
Okay.
So the campaign name.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we can attach maybe the same sequence, but this one with phone call, like the same emails, but also adding phone calls, because here we have phone number. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, just for my understanding again. So if we already have contacts in the campaign sector, then we do not have to charge for moving them to another campaign. So they're already in our account then. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
So like I've just shown here, so let's say if you want to take everyone that has a phone number out of this campaign and move it somewhere else, you can just select the leads that do have phone numbers by selecting phone type. And then, so you can see the number of results out of the total number of leads is 73. If I select all of those leads, you have the option to just move that to a different campaign. If you want to keep them in this campaign, but also just, copy this list and add it to another campaign, you can go into actions and then just download a CSV of those 73 contacts as well. And then to create a new one using the CSV file, just go on create a new campaign and allow duplicates because it will have the same contacts. And then you will drop that CSV file into the campaign.
So the allow duplicates is a global for all the campaigns. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Okay.
That's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah. So allow duplicates is global. So if we have like one here, you have, for example, all the way from CEOs to Molly CTO. That's 3, 6, 9 different campaigns. And if you click allow, if you don't allow duplicates, so any contact within the 9 campaigns that already exists is not going to be added again. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And
so
also,
that's a master list.
Yeah, exactly. And also another thing to note as well. So at the moment, you guys do have the 1 license. If in the future you want to increase the number of licenses you do have, allow duplicates will be across all of the licenses.
Okay. And do I have a view of my master list then? Of all the contacts that I have in all the campaigns that I have passed on to campaigns, is there a view for that?
So unfortunately, there isn't. So you will need to actually go into each individual campaign and download a CSV for each one.
Okay. I do have one more question, which is how do you add custom fields?
How do you add custom fields? So the way that you would do that is, so if I go into one of the CSVs, let me just download this one, for example. There we go. There we go. Let me just see if it's downloaded for me. I don't know if it has. Anyway, yeah, my internet's just being very slow today for some reason. I apologize. Yeah, so you can't. So the way that you would do that is you would need to download a CSV. There are different tabs in the CSV, so different headings. And you have custom field 1, custom field 2, custom field 3. They will be blank, so they won't be populated with anything. But if you do want to add custom fields into there, then you just populate whatever information you want included in those custom fields.
Okay.
And then just re-upload that CSV file back into your account.
Okay.
With the custom fields added.
And I will need to, but when I do that, do I create a new list, a new campaign, or I update the campaign? Or can I do both?
Yeah, it would be best to create a new campaign.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I cannot create custom fields when I am pushing to campaign, right? It's not
yeah, that's
possible.
right. It can only be done in the CSV file.
Okay.
Perfect. I know we have gone over time just slightly, but I don't have another call to jump on for the next few minutes. So if you do have any questions, please fire away.
Bastian, I think it's very important that you clear your question, Bastian, because Bastian is going to be a heavy user of this, and he has not seen any of it. I mean, Jan and I have been discussing this for 6 months already, so we are kind of aware.
Yeah, I think it's clear so far. I guess I got everything.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem at all. What I do recommend though as well is when you do get your login details, all of the users just log in, have a little play around. I won't say push the campaign straight away unless you really want to, but definitely save a few personas and create some lists. And then on our next call, it would be good if we can just like review those personas so I can give any advice on how to either expand them or refine them. And then when you get your login details as well, there are just a few things that you'll need to set up, such as opt-out list, integrating email, and so on and so forth. But I'll send you a little checklist of things to do just so you don't forget. Perfect. Yeah. Another thing to note as well, so it would be good to have maybe a catch-up call over the next couple of weeks, just to kind of give you guys some time to play around, but not leave it too long. And after that, we can just have another meeting every 2 weeks for the time being while you're still getting set up and finding your feet with the platform. And then we'll move to monthly or quarterly calls just to kind of go through any product updates, roadmap, make sure the data is performing well, and review your campaigns too.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, sounds good.
I wanted to mention something. Yes, about the logging and the start of all this. I don't have login details. We have set up the requirements to get this running. I have set up the email authentication already yesterday. and
Okay.
we have the opt-out list already, and we fill the questionnaire for the content team.
Perfect.
Ready and etc. And also let's try to kickstart this as soon as possible. I'm hoping that we can have something running on next week already, at least something very basic. Yeah.
Yeah, not a problem. Shall we arrange a call for next week then?
Yes.
Perfect. Let me just have a look at my diary quickly. Cool. There we go. Week's filling up pretty fast, but is there any day that works best for you?
What will be the next meeting about? What are we going to do next meeting?
So the next meeting, like I said, it will mainly just be a follow-up, make sure that everything is set up correctly, review a couple of your personas to see, if your searches are going well, see if there's any advice I can give on that. And usually, after playing around on the platform itself, that's when the questions start to arise. So I'll just be able to answer any of those questions for you.
Okay, but I do not have login details yet.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
I will send that across to you as soon as we jump off this call today.
Okay, Wednesday then.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
So Wednesday, my only availability is in the morning, so I can do a call at 10 a.m.
Your time?
Yeah, that's GMT.
Yeah, sure, no problem. I think that's okay for you as well, right, Bastian?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's good.
Perfect. Yeah, so as well as the email with your login details and the instructions on what needs to be set up, I'll send over a calendar invite for next Wednesday at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. If because I guess I'm receiving the login details, right, on my email account. Yeah,
so that was just one question that I did have. Whose email would you like to be set up with a login? Would it be your own, Julia?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, but because then we are gonna use for the email, and we're gonna use Bastian's email account.
Yeah,
but I will be managing it, so I think that's the right way to proceed.
Yeah, not a problem. That's absolutely fine. I will set that up for you. Perfect. Well,
if I want to change the login email, can I do? Is that self-service, or I have to contact you? Like if we later we change
email.
Sorry.
Changing the login email. Sorry.
Yeah, the login credentials.
Yeah, so the login credentials, it is a little bit of a nifty, tricky process.
Okay.
Especially if you've already generated data. I would suggest, just sticking to one email login that you're going to keep for the rest of your time with Cognism. Just because if we do change it across, then any data that's been generated, any statistics that will be lost.
Then let's use info@Quyntess.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. Info@Quyntess.com.
Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah,
I'll do
that's just because otherwise, if I die tomorrow, then everybody has to log in on Julio's credentials for the rest of eternity, and so it's not good.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen.
No, hopefully I live what happened. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, that's not a problem.
So info@Quyntess.com.
Yeah, got it. Cool.
And I have access to that inbox, so that's no problem. I can check it right now after we finish the call.
Okay, not a problem at all. Yeah, I'll set it up for info@Quyntess.com with all the instructions regarding setup and an email calendar invite for 10 o'clock on Wednesday morning.
Okay. I do have one last question before we jump out, and it's about the resources. You guys have a massive library of resources, and I've been exploring it. I was doing that yesterday, and it's just that every single time that I try to access something, I have to fill a list from, right? So I have to put all my information. So is there any other way to get to this information?
So the best way to do that would be via the live chat in the platform. You can request any information from there, and then the girls in the support team will provide it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We skipped. I saw you guys had a webinar, for example, for cold calling last week and a couple of days ago, and we didn't have time to join. But that's something that, for example, Jan and Bastian and myself will be interested in seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a problem. I can send over a link to the recording of that.
Okay, that'll be great.
Yeah, it hasn't been shared with us just yet, but when it does get sent around, I'll send that to you guys. There's also a couple of other webinars that we did have last year. I can send you links to those. So one was regarding our product roadmap for this year. So there's a lot of exciting stuff that you guys might want to have a listen to. A few tips.
Product roadmap.
Oh, sorry.
Is that the product roadmap?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it yesterday. So yeah, I guess we'll be informed on our quarterly calls about those new features that are being released, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
anything that's new that's being released, I will update you guys on when we go through our quarterly based reviews. Any product changes as well.
Yeah.
You guys
Very
will-
ambitious plan for 2021.
Sorry?
Very ambitious plan for 2021.
Oh, you have no idea how ambitious this company is. It's crazy. Like there's something new every day. It's great.
Nice.
Never a dull day.
Okay. Hamed,
per-
anything from you?
No, it's clear, and although I will not be a main user, I think it's nice to see how it could work. So no question from my side.
Okay.
Perfect. Well, I hope this session's been useful for you guys. I know that you guys are recording this call, but just in case, I'll send over a Gong recording as well, so you guys have that link if you want to share it internally. I'll drop you guys an email with the information as well as getting your login details. But yeah, apart from that, it's been a pleasure speaking with you all, and I hope you have a lovely weekend as well.
Thank you,
Same for
Sophia.
you. Thank
for
you.
you.
My pleasure. Take care, guys. Bye.